Hello friends, this will be a quick one with crypto order flow and profile analysis. The topic here is about applying and timing your trades better using profile analysis for context and then order flow for execution. We'll quickly review this scenario. So the theme here was that we had a bit of a consolidation for the last 3 4 days. If you see on Bitcoin, up down, and then we had a failed breakout where it failed to sort of break out of this and again pulled back into the consolidation zone. Okay, so basis that the expectation was either we hold this consolidation or break below. Then on yesterday morning, we broke below this consolidation zone. So the idea is once you're broken below, you would expect it to sort of continue, its downward journey until it finds a new base, or potentially reverse from there. But the first expectation would be to sort of continue its downward journey. Now, we were looking at the composite of yesterday, last 4 5 days. If you see the composite profile is, this area forms the VPOC, which is the largest volume area, essentially, or the HVN, if you might say, for this entire composite zone. So the idea was any pullback to this zone will be resisted, and we could look for shorts around here. Okay, so the theme here was until we really trade and hold above these zones, we look for a short side play. Now, once this theme is established, what you need to do is typically look for order flow and find out if there are any triggers or anything or not. Okay, so if you see in the morning, we did have this push up here, which was kind of equivalent to this candle. Okay, so we had a lot of around 13 million delta on this Bybit exchange for BTC, and a lot of that was absorbed because price, completely, this was the buyer's block, which was essentially absorbed. So it essentially indicated that there are limit passive sellers holding our 43,500, 43,700 zones, which would likely to stay and would be active whenever price tries to pulls back to this zone. Okay, so then we move ahead in the session. If you see here again, what happened is, counter buying did come in, but here counter buying was resisted. Again, we had like, if you see this 7 million from there and then 7 7, but hardly there was any price movement indicating continued absorption around those zones. Okay, so we are again back into these zones where there is volume, but it's a choppy up down movement. At this point, you would tend to think that yes, it might look like, because it is hitting this zone again, it might look like it can break out of this zone, which is a fair assumption. Okay, so we would be either, if at this point, if you are a order flow trader, you might even look for scalp longs, but otherwise, if you are still playing for this scenario, then if you come here, this was pretty much an inflection point where you know buying came in, absorbed, buying came in, and then we had a seller push as well, and this was we had a seller push here and here. Okay, so once this buying failed, we thought sellers were trying to now push back below. Okay, and then if you look at particularly these three candles, okay, these three candles, it was buying followed by aggressive selling, followed by indecisive, and followed by a buying failure. So this was the last point where buyers really tried to push and failed, and then we had a push down. So all you have to do is once we try and break below this zones 43 490 500, the VPOC of or the low of this candle, if you want to play safe, you want to trigger your shorts with stops above just this zone 43 800. Okay, and then there was boom boom boom, and then the selling candle came in. So all these buyers who were trying to buy above had probably stops below this zone, and once they failed, we had this capitulation. There was again a pullback failure, if you see. So all these buyers, typically the way to look at it is, the buyers who fail to exit here would want to just have exits here and come back, okay, into this, or shorters will get aggressive. So we had two trades, one this follow through and then again a pullback and this follow through as well. Okay, so this is how you would use this kind of an analysis, build a context with an order flow, volume profile structure, and then look for better execution points with an order flow. Okay, the good part is something like this will work across any market, any time frames. Okay, it is just that the information, the information and the stops and targets change, but it will be active across any markets, any time frames. I think that's about it, guys. This was a quick one. So, look out for Go Charting, for your order flow and profile analysis. There's all built in. They also have your market profile structures also, which can also help you build a lot of price structure context. Okay. Thank you, guys.